Welcome back to the capsON podcast. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Anthony Mano, Nick Tobias, and Sam Meehan. It's week 13 of the NFL season. We're bringing you our 13th betting episode, I guess. We got Sunday night, we have Monday night, and we have a Tuesday night game this week, which is pretty interesting with Dallas and Baltimore.
Tuesday which is stupid. Which is stupid because everybody should just play anyway, whether you have a full team or not. But that's a debate for another time.
That's neither here nor there. All right.
All right,
Nick. You good?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Hey,
all right,
listen, it's just frustrating. It's just, I just want to get my frustrations out about it real quick because you have teams like didn't San Francisco play that 1 week with nobody on their team except all B players, and then
they beat the Giants by like 30.
Okay, and the NFL said, sure, we're going to play on with it anyway. And then everybody on the Baltimore Ravens test positive. And like,
the San Fran situation wasn't because of COVID. I think they were just hurt.
No, but there was another week. I couldn't recall exactly what team it was, but they put the
Pittsburgh
NFL
in Tennessee.
There you go. Listen, there's just been games that are pushed off that, I don't think it should have been pushed off. I think it should have been played Thursday, if anything, on Sunday or Monday. They push it off too long, and I don't really know why. And I'm frustrated. I just want to play football. And
just got to make sure everyone's healthy.
I don't care if they're healthy. It's not my problem you caught COVID. Wear a mask and don't do anything
wow.
stupid.
Well, I think the NFL has pushed games back to kind of limit spread for positives, and they put the Broncos on because their quarterback tested positive, and there was evidence that there was no spread, but they had to quarantine the quarterbacks. So it was kind of, I guess, a disciplinary measure, but I think they've made it clear.
When you talk about worrying about the spread, imagine playing with a practice squad wide receiver as opposed to playing without an all.
I think the NFL has made it clear, like, they will push games back for virus purposes, but for like compliance issues, like if you don't wear a mask in your team meeting, that's not their problem, I think that's what
I can go on and on about it, but I don't care enough.
It's apples to oranges. Like, if you want to, I agree with you. I don't think they should have played that game without their quarterback. But like, if it's a disciplinary thing because they weren't wearing masks in a team meeting, like, it's no fault but their own.
Still
Fair
lost
points.
Because of a stupid
all around
Baltimore Ravens backdoor cover. Trace McSorley with a 79-yard touchdown.
All that.
Forget about
I was sitting on Baltimore +4 because I put that bet in when they expected. Yeah, because they were supposed to play on Thanksgiving, and I bet on like Monday when that game was supposed to be on Thursday.
All mine got voided whenever it got moved.
Really? That's.
FanDuel doesn't do that. # not an ad.
FanDuel did give me a refund when there was a phantom pass interference call in I believe it was the Minnesota game.
Purdue, Minnesota.
Yeah, Purdue, Minnesota, the college football game. There was a phantom OPI, and they refunded the money. So if another book refunds the money, then FanDuel will refund the money because that's just customer service. But like Stick said, that's neither here or there. Let's get into some week 12, 13, 14.
13.
No.
Lucky number 13.
No.
All right, we have Sunday night football.
Listen, we're in the Twilight Zone, so.
Yeah.
Huh?
Do.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Sunday night, Denver at Kansas City. Kansas City are 14-point favorites, 48.5 on the total. Denver's 6-5 against the spread. Kansas City's 6-5 also against the spread. Denver's lost 3 of the last 3. I'm not sure what they are against the spread. This isn't making sense. I think they lost 3 of the last 4. They're 1-3 against the spread in that last span. Coming off a game with no quarterback, like we touched on. So Drew Lock, who's going to probably get the start this week, hasn't played in 2 weeks. I don't know what to do here because this line is so friggin' big at 14. If anybody else wants to go. Maybe I'll change my mind.
On FanDuel, got pushed to 13.5.
Okay, that's a little more enticing, but it's
still 2 touchdowns.
A lot.
And I think they win by more than that. I'm not really going to touch on this too much. I think they blow the doors off of this Denver team, and I will use the Mano term as blow the doors off, bulldoze, whatever you want. Kansas City is phenomenal. They showed it last week, and they kind of got screwed by a little bit of a backdoor cover last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think the Denver Broncos are a significantly worse team than Tampa Bay Buccaneers. First time that Drew Lock is practicing in like a week and a half, and I don't think it's gonna be close.
Yeah, as someone who loves betting against the Chiefs, I can't do it. After, what was it, the last time they played, it was the Chiefs put up 43 in the snow.
Yep,
Something like that.
43-9.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a similar, maybe a little bit more offense from the Denver side, but yeah, it's give me something like 38-14, something like that. It's not going to be close from the start.
Listen, the Kansas City Chiefs have put up more than 30 points per game at home every time except one time. So whatever that percentage is, there's only one time they didn't top 30 points. So you figure they put up at least 35 against this Denver defense, and you really think Denver is going to score, 14 points? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll piggyback. I think I'll go with Kansas City minus 14.
Oh, man, I was going to do
Yeah,
it.
I'm taking Kansas City minus
thank
14 too.
The
Broncos.
Patrick Mahomes is so good. He's so good.
He is. Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best quarterback that we have seen, like from a talent wise, since Aaron Rodgers in his prime, and even Aaron Rodgers now. But the Broncos spend a lot of money on their defense for situations like this with Pat Mahomes in the division, but I don't think it really matters. I think they get the doors blown off in this week.
There you go. That's two people saying it this week, man. Oh, that's good luck.
Two wrongs make a right.
Two wrongs make a right. Yes, sir.
That's
A negative times a negative is
two
indeed
negatives.
a
Two negatives make a positive. Yeah.
Simple math from the
It's
boys.
big brain time.
Let's move on to easy money. You guys, a squad sweep on Kansas City. Anybody want to kick it off?
I'll kick it off.
All right, Sam. Let's hear
Let
it.
me ask, who's the best team in the NFC?
The New York
NFC?
Football Giants.
The Saints.
Besides the New York Football Giants, probably the New Orleans Saints. Especially, maybe not now without Drew Brees healthy, but even Taysom Hill has looked like doing enough to he's not turning the ball over. He's putting up enough points, and that defense is again getting better and better. So they are a 3.5-point favorite this week on the road at Atlanta. Atlanta is, they just beat the hell out of the Raiders last week out of nowhere, but the Raiders this whole season have been incredibly inconsistent. I mean, when they went from, they lost by a few scores to New England and then, beating the Chiefs. So that was a letdown game more for the Raiders, and I think it was a big time, we're back performance from Atlanta. New Orleans bringing them back down to earth more offensively or defensively, I should say. Make Matt Ryan uncomfortable, make him turn the ball over, and put up 24, 28 points, and I think it's easy. Saints minus 3.5.
Last time these two teams played, the Saints won 24-9. That was with Drew Brees as that was with Taysom Hill as a starter. That was only 2 weeks ago. Yikes.
Yeah, that was when we got sidelined. You got
sidelined
by Jameis Winston starting, and then next thing you know, they say Taysom Hill last minute.
It's still one. I think I had the Saints that week too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it again.
I mean, the Falcons have really kind of not salvaged their season, because I think they're still 3-7, but with Raheem Morris at the helm, like, they're doing a hell of a lot better than Dan Quinn. They're staying competitive. Like you just said, they just routed the Raiders. They only put up 9 against the Saints 2 weeks ago, but beat the Falcons, beat the Panthers, lost by 1 to the Lions, right? This team is getting better. They're getting the fired coach bump. With Taysom, but I think Taysom Hill has proved these can at least handle the load and let everybody else do the rest, so long as Taysom Hill doesn't beat you here, or so long as Taysom Hill doesn't do anything to drastically change this outcome, which I don't think Sean Payton will put him in a situation to do that. I think the Saints are easy here too.
I mean, I think 3.5 is more than enough for me to give, like Sam said, arguably the best team in the NFC. And you mentioned before about how the Atlanta Falcons are on a roll. They did put up 43 last week against the Las Vegas Raiders, but if anybody watched that game, you see Derek Carr turn the ball over. It seemed like almost every possession he looked god awful that game, and that was the reason.
It's more of a fluke game
Yes, and exactly. I mean, you turn the ball over and you get good field position, and I think that's why the Falcons cashed in. And now they're looking at banged up Todd Gurley. You're looking at Julio Jones possibly not playing, and that's a huge factor. And the Saints are just good. I mean, their defense is good. They're ranked number 1 overall, and they're 5th in points allowed. Taysom Hill doesn't have to throw the football to win the game. You've seen him score 2 touchdowns on the ground, and it is more than enough. Sean Payton, I think, is a superior coach here, and I think the Saints are the superior team, and they win it by easily more than 3.5 points.
All right, who's next?
Hit it, Stick.
Go ahead, Stick.
You want me to go? All right.
Yeah,
So for my easy money, I'm going to hit the Colts under 50.5 playing against the Houston Texans. So the case for this one here is Will Fuller got suspended for, was it just illegal substances? He said he bought something a couple months ago, and somebody, Nick's shooting in the arm over there.
Well, do you know who their strength and conditioning coach is?
I do not.
Brian Cushing, who got busted on the Houston Texans for doing PEDs.
Well, there you go. Seems like it makes sense.
Yes, and if you look at a picture of him, if anybody wants to look up a picture of Brian Cushing on Google, tell me what you think of him after you look at a picture.
You should know who Brian Cushing is.
You got to look at a picture of his face, and then you'll understand why Kenny Stills, or I'm sorry, Will Fuller was taking PEDs.
There you go.
Bradley Roby, too.
Yeah, well, there you go. 2 people. Sorry, Stick.
No, you're good. So I like the under 50.5. Actually, it's at 51 now, so I'm going to take that half point. And Indy looks to run the ball, so the clock winds. I use that as an argument a whole lot for the under, and it makes sense. Keep the clock winding, less points can be scored, and that's about it. And this is really a play on that and the fact that Houston isn't really going to be able to run the ball much on Indy's defense because, I mean, they're really good against the run. I mean, there's no disputing that. So it's going to put the ball in Deshaun Watson's hands to do something, but now they don't have Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, or Randall Cobb. It's going to be the Brandon Cook show and the tight ends, Jordan Akins and Darren Fells. So that's pretty much it. That's it. That's my case.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the huge drop-off that the Houston offense takes, and they've had Will Fuller pretty much all year, and I think this is the first time that Will Fuller has played a full season without missing a game. And he has been the number 1 target ever since DeAndre Hopkins left. And that's a huge void that offense has to fill now that he's out. Deshaun Watson's going to be forced to do more, which plays into what the Indianapolis Colts secondary likes for the opposing quarterback to do. I think Phil Rivers is going to be under duress pretty much the whole time. They're missing their starting left tackle. So I think J.J. Watt's going to have a field day, especially when it comes to passing downs. So I think the game is just pretty much going to chew the clock left and right. And I think under, what do you have, 51? I think under 51 is a good call. Yep. I could see this as a quick 20 to 13 game here where there's really nothing going on and it's just a boring, very, very boring game.
I hope so, Nick. I hope so.
You and me both there, Stikey boy.
Who's up?
I can go. You ever see the Spider-Man pointing at each other meme?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where they're like outside of they're like just pointing at each other, right? I think that's what we're gonna get from Cleveland and Tennessee's offenses, right? Basically, they both play off of play action, right? Tannehill and Baker Mayfield are probably 2 of the most prominent play action quarterbacks in the league. Definitely the 2 most run heavy teams to play that play action off of. The difference here is Tennessee is actually a lot better than Cleveland. Cleveland, despite being 8-3, is probably the fakest 8-3 team that I have seen in my 23 years of living, and I don't know how many years of watching football. To me, they feel like there's a term in wrestling called a jobber, right? And a jobber will go out and they will get wins against some scrub opponents, right? And then when they have to fight like a champion, right, they look good because they have all these wins stacked up, but they're going to get dogged by the champion because they're just a jobber.
They're
right?
jobber.
To me, Cleveland feels like a jobber, right, where they've gone out and they've beat teams and the record looks nice and look what they are. They're 8-3. Don't look at everything else. Don't look behind the curtain. I think they're going to get I don't know if it's going to be a 7. I think it's going to be around a 7-point game, but I'm taking Tennessee -5.5. Tennessee is hot right now. They're the better team. They're the better offense, despite them both playing the same thing. I like the talent on Tennessee more. A.J. Brown looks a lot healthier. Corey Davis contributes. I don't think, despite getting Myles Garrett back, I don't think the Broncos can stop them. And I don't think they can keep up. So give me Tennessee minus 5.5. Oh, what did I say?
The Broncos.
The Broncos. Wrong BR word. Give me the Browns. Broncos are brown.
Sometimes, the Titans really impressed me last weekend against Indy.
They did.
Beat the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm. And I picked Indy last week.
So did I.
It's tough because like this Tennessee team is also 8-3, and you could probably make the same argument for them that I just made for the Browns, but like somehow like I feel more comfort in Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill than I do in Nick Chubb and Baker Mayfield and Jarvis Landry to AJ Brown. Like the talent on one side just feels a lot better. So
does it scare you that before last week against the Colts, the Tennessee Titans haven't scored more than 24 points? Because that's not good. I mean, they were able to succeed last week against a tough Indy defense, and the week before against the Baltimore Ravens defense. And I got to give him props for that, and I got to give it to Derrick Henry for putting up 150 last week, or whatever it was.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, get the hat trick, and he's balling. I think this game's just going to be close, and I do see it as a touchdown victory. I personally don't want to touch this game just because I think these are two very even match teams, and when you say there's two Spider-Man memes pointing at each other, I think you're exactly right.
Offense at least. The offense at least.
100%.
In similarity, I don't think they're 100%. The same talent-wise, but they do the same thing.
And my problem with Cleveland isn't their team; it's Baker Mayfield. And there was one pass he made last week where I think he had Rashard Higgins wide open in the end zone, and he airmails it right through the uprights, which I don't think I've ever seen before in my entire life.
Like no one within 10 yards of him.
So this is a tough game for me to pick. I think Cleveland getting Myles Garrett back on the defensive end is going to be on the defensive side of the football is going to be a huge boost for them. Nick Chubb has come back and pretty much run for over 100 yards in the 2 games he's been back, and he's a beast. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, and it's being played in Tennessee. At least it's not being played in shitty old Cleveland. That's all I got to say.
What was your question? Was I concerned about them scoring less than?
Yeah, have they scored over 24 points in every game besides Cleveland, or every game besides Indianapolis? Have they eclipsed 24
in the beginning
games?
of the year? Yeah, for sure.
And the week before against Baltimore, right?
They scored 30 against Baltimore. They scored 42 against Houston, 42 against Buffalo, 31 against Minnesota, 33 against Jacksonville. So I don't know where you're pulling these stats from, Nick, but untrue.
I might have
fired your sources.
I could have hit a wrong button or simply have just malfunctioned in the brain area. And
it happens.
Don't you just hate when you accidentally possibly maybe do something and this is the result?
I'm 100% wrong. I'll be completely honest with you.
All right, how about you give your pick and see what happens?
All right, so my easy money, I guess, this week, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams -3 on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Los Angeles Rams are one of, if not the best team in the NFC West, and I think it's strictly because of their defense. Now, yes, they played a very lackluster game last week against the San Francisco 49ers, but to be fair, the Niners have had their number pretty much all year. And
Shanahan owns McVay.
Shanahan owns McVay, and I think that's the history.
4-0 against him.
Exactly. So I think that's the history playing against the Los Angeles Rams, and I think that last week is whatever. I don't think that factors into this week. For the Los Angeles Rams particularly, I mean they have had an up and down season, but I think they're a strong football team. You have arguably one of the best offensive coaching minds in general in Sean McVay. With an offense that has at least 4 or 5 weapons coming out of there with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers. I mean, I can name their whole offense, and it's a good offense, and their defense is nothing to be a slouch about. Between Jalen Ramsey, Josh Reynolds, anybody else they have back there. I mean,
Aaron Donald guy too is all right.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Aaron Donald either. They quietly have one of, if not the best defense in the NFL behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that they're going to give the Arizona Cardinals a tough time. And on the Arizona Cardinals side of the football, last week when they played the Patriots, Stephon Gilmore pretty much shut down DeAndre Hopkins. I can't tell you how many yards DeAndre Hopkins had off the top of my head, but I believe it was under 50. And the Arizona Cardinals need DeAndre Hopkins to score to catch at least 75, 80 yards worth of receiving yards to at least be a factor in this game. Kyler Murray's shoulder is a factor. He obviously looks like he's hurt. He looks a little bit compromised, and that spells nice for Aaron Donald on the defensive side, who's going to be trying to get to the football the whole time. They haven't topped 21 points in back-to-back games. Their offense looks a little lackluster. I think that they peaked a little bit too early. And I think that this is Vegas kind of riding high on what Arizona looked like in the beginning of the year. I think they are coming down. I don't think they're the same football team that we saw earlier this year. They got lucky against Buffalo. They kind of got smacked around last week against a below par team in the New England Patriots that I think don't have the level of athleticism and players that the Arizona Cardinals do. And I think the Rams scheme up a great game, and I think McVay outcoaches Scott Kingsbury very easily, and I like the Los Angeles Rams here a lot. I like them a lot.
Scott Kingery is the Phillies' second baseman. Cliff Kingsbury is the Cardinals' head coach.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been reading a lot of New York Mets propaganda, especially with Steve Cohen coming in and the recently
and Scott Kingery has come up in that.
No, but it's come up about the Phillies and JT Realmuto. Listen, I just hate the Philadelphia. Go ahead.
No, to your point about the Rams, right? I think that they have the talent in place to make Kyler Murray and that offense very uncomfortable, right? They have pass rushers on the edge that can force Kyler Murray to stay in the pocket, right? And force him to step up, make bad throws on a crappy shoulder, right? And when he's going to step up, you know who he's going to be looking at? Aaron Donald.
And
right?
Wait, before you keep going, I don't think Larry Fitzgerald is playing, and Larry Fitzgerald has the highest, I think, target percentage on 3rd and 4th down in the NFL. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that.
That's a good stat. Okay, stats that might matter. I like
that.
Yes,
stats that matter if they're correct.
Yeah, that's fine. I like the Rams here too. I think the defense is set up in a really good. They have the talent to kind of make Kyler Murray uncomfortable and force him in really shitty situations. So, good pick.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you.
I'm with
No
you
problem.
there too.
Thank you too, Stick.
Call me crazy,
pick.
but I'm curious how you guys see this. So we're in an 8-team league, obviously. The three of us know. Sam, you might know. I have DeAndre Hopkins going up against Jalen Ramsey this week. It's an 8-team league. My wide receiver depth is good enough. I'm very strongly considering benching DeAndre Hopkins in fantasy football this week.
I mean, I
Just
honestly
saying.
don't think
Or
it's a
who?
bad move. I mean, you're looking at a defense or a secondary for the Los Angeles Rams that is giving up the fewest points in the NFL, and you're forcing, it's giving up the fewest yards per attempt in the NFL. And like Mano said, you're pressuring Kyler Murray, and if he's afraid to run, if he's got a shoulder injury, he's going to be afraid to run the ball and make contact past the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be trying to force passes, and if he's forcing passes against Jalen Ramsey and Josh Reynolds, Josh Johnson, and who's their safety? Jordan Fuller or somebody? There was another Fuller.
It's Taylor Rapp.
John Johnson.
He's hurt.
John Johnson the third.
I thought there was a young. I thought
Taylor
they had
Rapp. It's Taylor Rapp, but he's hurt.
it's
Taylor
not.
Rapp out of Washington. No. Okay.
I'm gonna look it
It's
up.
Fuller.
So you can
It's
keep going.
Fuller. It's
Jordan
a Fuller.
Yeah.
Jordan Fuller out of Ohio State.
Say that.
You did.
I don't know. Did you?
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Go ahead. Sorry, Stick. I would bench
Stick, as an individual in your division, in this fantasy league, I highly suggest benching DeAndre Hopkins because I would like the division.
See, you're being snarky right now, but like I'm gonna make the move, and I'm gonna make you look stupid for telling me that because you're making it seem like a shoo-in. But he scored the least amount of points on my team last week with 10. So
and you wouldn't trade him to me. So
I wouldn't trade him.
I got 0.6 from Derek Carr last week.
That's what you get for putting Derek Carr in there.
See, and that'll feed into your
Yikes.
New Orleans Saints
Yikes.
pick this week. That feeds into the
Yikes.
Saints pick, and I'm
Yikes.
gonna go off
So
the
I
record.
Vengeance
did have Derrick Henry and Tyreek Hill though, so it was okay.
Well, this is gonna be an off the record pick, but I'm gonna take the New York Jets +9. That's just off the record.
Yeah, off the record. All right, let's move on to make the case.
Put this in the record.
Nick's just spewing bullshit. Where we don't win picks as it is, and then Nick's just throwing out 0-11 picks.
If you're listening this far, just fade whatever
We?
I say, except the Los Angeles Rams pick.
Yeah, we don't lose, Nick. I mean, I do lose. Sam, you do pretty well.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No, Giants.
Okay. I'm going to kick it off
It
here.
would have been 2-0 last week for the Giants.
Yeah, no,
All
that's
right.
a good point.
What are we doing? We do make the case. Or
Make
do
the
Monday?
case. Let's make the case, and then
we're
we'll
gonna
go
make a
to
case.
Monday night.
All right. Let me start with the
call it.
make the case. A little make the case baloney for the boys out there.
Okay, baloney boy.
This
Let's
is
see.
Nikki Bolognese coming out here with your daily dose of garbage. I'm gonna take Jacksonville plus 10 on the road against Minnesota.
Is this 3 weeks in a row you're taking Jacksonville?
I don't know what the hell your problem is.
No, I didn't touch them last week, and they covered.
You probably
last
should have.
week,
He should have.
I should have, and they're correct. They're going to cover this week. They're playing a Minnesota team that's been very up and down all season. Who played a really crappy game last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has arguably one of the worst defenses in the league. Their offense obviously has weapons between Amari Cooper, Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott, whatever. I just think 10 points is a lot here to be giving a Minnesota team that doesn't really have a defense. I kind of liked what Mike Lennon did last week. I mean, he threw for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Listen, Cleveland's defense isn't that bad. They have a very good screen. Yeah, maybe they don't have any pass rushers, but you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, it's not good. And they didn't have DJ Chark last week either.
It's not. You're the one making the case, Nick.
I am. And last week they didn't have DJ Chark. They're playing against an above average defense, and Mike Lennon made it work, and they only lost by 3 points last week. They almost did it. Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is bad, and I'm not going to argue that. But the last 4 games they've held opponents to under 27, and I think if the defense holds up and holds Minnesota to 27 points, I don't think the Jaguars have any problem putting up 2 touchdowns and making it a close game.
Yeah, I gave you flack, and I happen to agree in this case. I do.
Yeah,
I need you to clip that you agree with me on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I want to post that everywhere.
It's going up. Trust me, it's going up. It's in the podcast. We're recording.
The great Mike Francesa did just say that the Jaguars are the best 1-10 team he's ever seen.
The Jaguars are a fantastic.
It's a death wish.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna lose by 100 now.
That's a comment you can just throw out there, though, and that's okay. You're not gonna get proven wrong. What's gonna happen? They're gonna get worse, and they'll be like a 1-13 team.
They can't really get worse. They have arguably one of the best offensive rookies in the league with James Robinson running the football. I mean, undrafted free agent who's putting up over 100 scrimmage yards per game. Mike Lennon is a seasoned veteran who's played on multiple different teams, multiple different systems. He knows how to at least make completions when he has to. He's going to get DJ Chark back this week. Keelan Cole's decent. He's got Laviska Shenault on the offensive side. I think their offense has enough to keep up with this game. I don't think the defense is going to keep up. I think the offense keeps up. That's why I'm making the case for the Jaguars offense, not the Jaguars defense.
On Mike Lennon.
Yeah, Nick, I'm completely on your side here. But when you go around throwing your hard-earned beans that you go to ShopRite for, and you work, and it gets direct deposited in your bank account,
you
go around flapping your gums calling Mike Glennon a seasoned veteran.
Which he is. That's the only accurate
veteran,
thing
not seasoned. He's veteran.
He's a seasoned veteran. How long has he been in the league?
Just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're seasoned. I'm telling you right now.
But what kind of seasoning?
That's just salt.
Not just salt. We're talking about a little bit of Cajun seasoning, some black pepper, something good, a little spicy, something you're like.
So he's not Ryan Fitzpatrick seasoned. Ryan Fitzpatrick seasoned would be like herbs, spices, very well seasoned, rubbed into the meat. And can we call Mike Glennon sprinkled some Old Bay on it?
I will not be sprinkling anything on Mike.
Remember when
sprinkle the money line.
No.
Woo!
Right before the Chicago Bears took Mitchell Trubisky in the draft, they signed Mike Lennon to a 3-year, $45 million contract.
They also traded a bunch of picks for Nick Foles.
And he got benched within 3 weeks.
Somebody believes in him. Somebody believes in him other than the Chicago Bears.
No. Somebody owes him money.
They already paid him.
He's got blackmail on half the league, brother.
Nobody pays a backup quarterback that much money. All right, whatever.
Man, okay.
We gotta move on.
Stick, you agree. That's all I care about. They agreed.
Nick,
they agreed.
I'll tell you
That's
what.
fine with me.
I agree with you. I do. I just think it's funny the way you describe quarterbacks, especially the veteran
How many-
variety.
Seasoned
How
veterans.
tall-
How else do you describe Mike Lennon?
A veteran, journeyman.
He's a seasoned veteran. He's
I don't
seasoned.
care.
He's seen a lot. He's
I
been
don't
through
care.
a lot.
How tall is Mike Glennon?
I don't care. I
6
don't
It's like
Four.
6'4", 110 pounds.
How tall is that in like inches?
I don't know.
76.
6'4", then it's
76?
yeah.
Yeah, if it's 6'4".
76.
It's a complete guess, by the way. I have no idea.
Does
He
this
seems
play,
like he's
does
kinda
this
tall.
play into the Jaguars covering plus 10.5?
I'm gonna croak
No,
pretty soon.
no. I was trying to figure out something, but I can't get anything with 6'4"
All right.
or 7 foot
All right.
or 76 inches.
Yeah,
I got-
yeah,
Move
yeah,
on
yeah.
from
I tried, though.
Jacksonville.
I tried.
It's okay.
Roll Jags.
76 inches. All right. I'm gonna make the case. I'll move on. I'll take mine. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers minus 8 points this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. The very, very crappy Philadelphia Eagles. Philly's 3-8 against the spread. Green Bay is 7-4. Over Philly's last 5 games, they're 1-4 against the spread on the road. They're 2-5 against the spread on their last 7 versus the NFC. They've lost 5 of their last 7, and they're 3-4 in that span.
Oh, please
They
tell me
lost their
more bad
last
things.
3 games straight up to the Giants, Seattle, and Cleveland.
Tell me all the bad things. Tell me all the bad things. about the
I'm going to
Phillies.
give you all the bad things about the Eagles. They're playing on a short week after losing to Seattle on Monday Night Football. And their passing defense is the 8th in the NFL. So I'll give you a little bit of a bright spot there. However, you want to flip it over to the other side of the coin. Their passing defense is 8th in the NFL, but I'll give you somebody who very well might be first overall at something, and that's playing quarterback in the history of the National Football League with Aaron Rodgers across the way. I don't know.
Hot take.
Hot take. I said maybe.
It's
I said
getting
maybe.
warm in here, fellas.
Some might say.
All right, let me just spew you some stats about Green Bay. They're 7-4 against the spread. I told you that already. 5-2 against the spread, last 7 at home. 6-2 against the spread, last 8 versus the NFC. 5-2 against the spread, their last 7 versus Philadelphia. They're coming off a bounce-back win versus Chicago after losing to Indy. Rodgers is still rolling. They've won 3 of their last 4. They're 2-2 against the spread in their last 4. And they put up 31 versus Indy and 41 versus Chicago. So their offense is most definitely working and rolling and scoring points. The defense had some lapses in their judgment, especially in the run game, after we saw Dalvin Cook absolutely gash them a couple of weeks ago in the second meeting between the two teams. But their offensive line is banged up, so we'll see how that Philly defensive front can attack. I don't think very well, which is why I'm taking Green Bay minus 8. But that's my case.
The Aaron Rodgers revenge tour is in full. It's not even a revenge tour. It's a fuck you tour.
I tune into Pat
it's a-
McAfee's Aaron Rodgers
It's
Tuesdays.
a fuck Jordan Love tour.
It's
That's what it
amazing.
is.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. They're a really good team, and I feel like the greater football contingency watchers are kind of like bullish on them, I guess, just because like you look
Who
at
are
them
these
and
people?
they'll beat just some people, you know.
Me. That's me.
Look at them and they I feel like they get they blow the doors off the the Bears, and then they turn around or not turn around, but they've lost to the Vikings, like you said earlier. It's hard to tell who they are, but like when push comes to shove, I think they're one of the better teams in the league.
They're gonna bully Philly. Like this line should not
Philly's
be 8.5.
terrible.
This
Listen,
line
it's
should
just
not be
their,
8.5.
it's their offense, and you talk about how you argue that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, that's definitely an argument for another time, but he is ridiculous, and I'm going to leave it like that. And he is gonna carve up this defense. And granted, how bad the Packers defense is, I don't think Carson Wentz is going to do anything. Carson Wentz has the most turnover-worthy plays.
He's going to
in
do
the NFL.
something, but it's going to be something bad. It's going to be something stupid.
And I think this is the game where Carson Wentz probably gets benched halfway through and Jalen Hurts comes in because it's going to be that much of a blowout.
Oh, boy. Let's get nuts.
So what you're saying is I should take the over in Jalen Hurts' passing yards.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like
Probably,
25, and I would take it.
Okay. All right. I'll consider it. I think they should play
We'll
Jalen
consider
Hurts
it.
yesterday, but or last week, but
Yeah, but Philly beat writers are all saying that it's not Carson Wentz's fault, it's this and that's fault.
Well, but that's they have so much money and like capital that they've invested into Carson Wentz, and it's hard to come off it. You know what I mean?
But it's
for a franchise, for outside looking in, it's easy. But
I mean, you talk about investing capital and investing the team in Carson Wentz, then you go behind his back and draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. Like, what are you doing?
I guess so. What's done? But that's my take. That's my take too. What's done is done. Like, you already drafted the quarterback that you want to see what he has at the very least. If he's good enough, maybe you ride him out next year and.
Well, that's like you flip the situation
with
the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they go behind Aaron Rodgers back, and instead of getting him help, they draft the future quarterback in the first round.
Aaron Rodgers is probably good for 7 wins on his own.
He don't care. You don't care who's behind him.
I know he doesn't. I know.
And he's a baller.
Carson Wentz is not good for 7 wins on his own. So.
Nope.
At least not anymore. Not anymore.
Nope. Sorry, Sammy.
Does anybody else have to?
Sammy's gonna go. Sorry for taking up your time, Sammy.
Oh, it's okay. So I'm going to make the case for the under 42.5 in Cincinnati versus Miami. So in the last 9 of Miami's games, the under has gone 6-3, and Cincinnati is still playing with Brandon Allen. And I don't know if you watched them when they played the Giants last week, but besides that last drive of the game where they backdoor covered, they could not move the ball at all. They got their 1 touchdown off a kick return, and the 1 field goal was set up. They were set up like pretty much there already. So, yeah, they can't move the ball. The Miami defense is, probably similar and probably a little better even than the Giants defense. And with the inconsistencies in Miami's offense, regardless of who's a quarterback, I think, even if Miami scores like 27 points, I think it could still hit because I do not see Cincy themselves getting more than 13. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair, kind of an ugly game, but, yeah, under 42.5.
Yeah, you have no argument for me there.
Barring any special teams anomalies, like you said, like a kick return or
exactly.
like what Miami did a few weeks ago in LA, like I think you're fine there. And 42.
Both teams have used up their special teams magic. this year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you look at a number like 42, and it's like it's not a pretty number to gamble on because you're basically 6 touchdowns in a game at most, and I don't know. I like the bet, though. I don't think either of these offenses are anything like inspirational. They're not going to put up 42 points by themselves.
It's going to be a terrible game. I mean, I think it's going to be tremendously one-sided, and I think 11.5 points for Miami is too big for me to even think about betting. But last week, like you said, against the Giants, the Cincinnati Bengals only had 155 total yards.
Yeah.
Not good, and I don't think they do anything different this week against a better Miami defense.
Is this game in Miami or is it in Cincinnati?
It's in Miami.
It's in Miami.
Okay. I was going to say, if this was in Cincinnati and it's a little chilly and you might get some snow, maybe, but, in Miami, they're probably not they shouldn't be partying, but just take the under anyways.
I just know, all these writers and stuff were probably so excited, like, oh, we're going to get Burrow versus Tua in a few weeks, and then, nope, Brandon Allen versus Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn shame, but.
Fitzmagic for the win.
No points.
All right.
He wins 3-0.
Is that it? We set?
I'm all set.
Cool. So, let's move on to Monday Night Football. This week,
Did
Monday
I make the
night.
case? I don't think I made the case.
Yeah, I don't think so
you did.
either. That's why I said we all set twice and nobody answered.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to my Google Home. My Google Home was giving me directions somewhere. I
right, make
did not
it.
want to
Let's
go
go.
anywhere. I'm taking Indianapolis Colts plus or minus 3.5.
Good.
I feel like I shouldn't be making the case for this team because they're good and they just got waxed last week by the Titans. But this line at 3.5 doesn't feel right to me. No Will Fuller, no Bradley Roby. I think it's fairly easy here. Bounce back game, sure. Give me Indianapolis.
What was the first thing that you said, Mano, about Indianapolis?
I don't know. Can you remind me? I was talking kind of fast.
Yes, you said Indianapolis is good. That's all I wanted to hear.
They are good. Their defense is good. I'll hold reservations about the offense, but
I
Defense
look
is good.
okay.
They get
Now,
T.Y. Hilton back.
I kind
Again.
of compare the Indianapolis Colts to a lesser version of the Pittsburgh Steelers with a very strong defense and a not so strong offense. Now, granted, I think Indianapolis' offense is definitely a huge step back from, Pittsburgh's offense, but I think they both run similar ways where they are relying heavily on their defense to keep them close in games, and they both have veteran good quarterbacks that have proven that they know how to get the job done when it needs to be done. The Colts are expected to get Jonathan Taylor back, which is huge, and I just don't trust the Houston Texans to really score anything without anybody on the offensive side of the football.
Nope. Correct.
Nope.
There we go.
Move it on.
All right.
Monday.
Yeah, let's move on. Monday Night Football, we have the Buffalo Bills visiting the San Francisco 49ers. However, they're not visiting the San Francisco 49ers. They're visiting the temporary
Arizona San Francisco
49ers. The line is set at Niners -1. The total set at 46.5. I don't really know where I want to go with this. I'm going to definitely stay away.
You say
from
Niners
this
-1?
game. I got Niners -1 right now.
I saw Buffalo.
This is going to be a weird game.
I do also. You're right. Fair enough.
So the San Fran 49ers of Arizona are coming off a big win against the Rams. The Bills, what did they do?
Nothing. They didn't do anything.
The Niners are or at least offensively, I think Mostert's pretty much back and fully healthy. Deebo Samuel's back.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Niners.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna be quick I think the Niners win this football game.
Like they're desperate. They're 5-6, but they still have an opportunity to squeeze into that wild card spot at like. So who's currently whoever the 7 is currently Arizona, who is 6-5, I believe. Bye.
See you, man.
And,
he's back already.
Hey, he's back.
We're good. And what was I saying?
San Fran's making a push for the playoffs.
Yeah,
and they have a healthy defense now, which I think is a huge factor and a huge boost. For
Obviously, no Thomas and Bosa, but but
getting Richard Sherman back is
their defense is getting healthy. So is the offense. And I think the more desperate team here in primetime, they're going to want to show out and start that playoff push. Maybe win 5 in a row to finish, or I guess it would be 6 in a row to get to 10-6 and make some noise in the postseason.
I personally I still, and all season, I have not been sold on the Buffalo Bills, and this is another game where I am not sold on them. I just don't believe in their offense and the inconsistencies in Josh Allen's game, in their rushing game in particular. And I think the San Francisco 49ers can easily eliminate the rushing game from the Buffalo Bills, and now you're forcing Josh Allen to throw the ball, which is very predictable, and that plays right into what the San Francisco 49ers, I think, want to do. I talked about how they got Richard Sherman back. You have arguably one of the top secondary players in Jamie Ward. You have Jason Verrett, who's been having an outstanding season. Their secondary is legit, and it's there, and it's going to be ready. Stephon Diggs is obviously a no slouch in and of himself, but who else on that offense is really going to give you nightmares? I mean, you got Cole Beasley, John Brown. I don't even know if John Brown's playing. But I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. I like San Fran to win in the game, and if the over-under is 46.5, I'm going to go under 46.5 here, and I think there's not going to be a lot of scoring. I think it's going to be back and forth, a lot of defense being played in this football game.
All good there. I'm with you.
You like the Niners and the under?
I do.
Not touching that total, but
yeah, I'm probably not going to touch the total, but I like it.
I like the Niners here too. For Sam, I don't know what you said because I dropped off, but I assume it's correct. Along the same lines of thinking that I am. Listen, this line feels off because they're not in Santa Clara or at their home at Levi Jean Stadium, and they don't have Garoppolo at quarterback. It's Nick Mullins. So that's why it's a little.
Sorry, I hate
he's
to
not
interrupt.
bad.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree.
Kyle Shanahan, ever since he's gotten Nick Mulligans, has not shut up about
Nick Mulligans.
You say Nick Mulligans.
I'm thinking
That's
of golf.
you on the
now.
golf course there.
I'm thinking, yeah, it is. Yeah, that is. That's me, Nicky Mulligan. But Kyle Shanahan has not shut up about Nick Mullins and about how good of a player he is and how good he is for that offense. He can make passes too, man. I mean, he's going to have a healthy Deebo Samuel. He's going to have a healthy Brandon Ayuk. Granted, he doesn't have George Kittle, but I don't think he needs George Kittle. He's got Jordan Reed, who I think is good enough.
Interesting comparison once again from you, Nick.
Yikes.
I said good enough. I said good enough.
George Kittle probably helps.
He probably does, but I said good enough.
Definitely doesn't hurt.
Good enough. Good enough.
No, I think Nick Mullins and the Niners get it done here. They're getting healthier. That defense was good even when they weren't healthy. So I think they forced Josh Allen into making some
Shenanigans.
Some silly mistakes. And give me the Niners here. I think they're the better team.
Gang.
Beautiful. 2 primetime games so far, 2 squad sweeps. We're going to move on to Monday Night Football, where I don't know if we're going to have a squad sweep, but it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 7.5. I don't see a total on FanDuel, so we're not going to touch on the total. Like, this is Tuesday night or Tuesday at 5 p.m. Or actually, no.
No,
8
the
p.m.
Washington. Are you talking about Washington, Pittsburgh? Or are you talking about the?
No, FanDuel's just messed up. It has this game listed at Monday night at 5 o'clock, and that's not the case because it was, and then it got moved to Tuesday.
Washington and Pittsburgh is Monday at 5 o'clock.
I know, but this game was also supposed to be 5 o'clock Monday, and it's not anymore.
No,
Okay,
it's
so
Tuesday.
This game's on
the
Tuesday.
Monday,
So we're talking
the
about
Monday
Tuesday?
game. So we're still
Tuesday afternoon football.
So the
Tuesday
Monday-
early evening football.
because we're still on Monday. The Monday football game is Washington at Pittsburgh.
I mean, do you want to talk about that? I thought we were only doing like Sunday or Monday night.
Well, there's 2 Monday games. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's
both
5 o'clock.
primetime.
It's not Monday night. It's
we
Monday
only do
afternoon.
3 primetime games per episode.
Okay, well, Washington
Yeah.
plus 8.5.
Sam reaches his quota. all he's good for.
I'll do one of them.
Otherwise it gets all haywire.
It goes off the rails.
I mean, I'd almost rather talk about the Steelers-Washington game because we have
Let's do it.
We have full information on that. We don't have a total
Give me
for
the-
Dallas, Baltimore.
Give me Washington.
We don't have players for Baltimore. Who the hell knows? So let's move backwards to the 5 o'clock Monday game. Washington football team visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 8 points. The total is set at 42. I'm going clear, cut, and dry. Gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers -8.
All right,
Oh.
Sam and I are out here throwing up the
W's
W gang sign out
You
here.
have the W's up.
you're
I'm
just
going
gonna-
with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, you saw what Mike Tomlin said. He said it was a junior varsity effort, and they won the football game. If you don't think that Mike Tomlin is going into that locker room
Oh, wait,
and
wait, wait,
absolutely
wait,
drilling them, even as an 11-0 team, they're going to come out and win this game by 10 points.
It's
I
a
promise
junior
you.
varsity outing against a Baltimore Ravens team that didn't have anybody.
Fine, and now they're going on to play a Washington football team that does
Who's
not
got
have anybody.
who's got a healthy team, a healthy defense. I think the defense is arguably almost better. Their offense is there.
That's fine with me. I'm willing to throw out the last week for the Steelers and the Ravens because that is a wacky week. They prepared to play that game on Thursday and played it almost a full week later on a Wednesday. They prepared for a short week and could have had a week and a half worth of prep.
Well, they're going to have a short week again, right? Because they won we're recording this on Thursday, right? So they won yesterday, right? So they probably have a victory Monday, but victory Thursday. So they're probably not in today, as far as I'm concerned. So they're going into this game Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They have 3 days.
Yeah,
4 days.
Whatever.
4 days if they're in today doing some light lifting and
Yeah, but
stretching.
that's
I
no
don't know.
different than playing on a Sunday after a Monday night game. It's one extra day. I mean, it matters. It definitely matters.
I think it matters more than you're giving credit for, and I think this Washington football team defense is. I didn't say the R words that time. The Washington football team defense is one of the best in the league, and they get constantly ignored just because they're 2-7, 3-6. I have no idea what the record is. It's all garbage in the NFC East. This team almost got embarrassed on a Wednesday night. Like if they were in a position to lose that game and just so happened to be healthier than the other team and beat them, right? I think that comes back and bite them. I think 8.5 is too many points for a defense that, like Nick said, might be better than Baltimore. I'll put them up there. Give me 8.5 points. It's too many points.
Listen, the week before they played last week, I mean, they played the Ravens last week. The week before they played the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, the Jacksonville Jaguars are a bad team, and obviously their record reflects it, but I don't think the Washington football team's record reflects exactly who they are as a football team. You touched on – Mano touches on their –
is in shambles. Not shambles, but that quarterback situation is in shambles, right?
What, in Jacksonville?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking about Jacksonville? I thought you were talking about Washington.
Well, no, I was saying the Steelers played they played Jacksonville 2 weeks ago, and that's why they kind of smacked them around. But I think Washington is in a more comfortable spot than the past couple teams that the Steelers have played, because the Steelers went Baltimore Ravens on a Wednesday after 3 postponements. They played the Jaguars the week before, and and the Cincinnati Bengals the week before that. So those are 2 teams that are uneven in the front office, plus a game that got rescheduled 3 times. I like the Washington football team here. I think their offense is going to be enough to keep the game close. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to put up 30 points this game. I think it's going to be something around maybe a 21-14 game. And guess what? That covers the spread. So give me the Washington football team. Give me Antonio Gibson. Give me Terry McLaurin. Give me Alex Smith. Give me that defense.
Sam, put this man in the dirt.
I've heard this a little saying, the hungry dog always bites. And Washington is 4-7, tied with the Giants for the lead in the NFC East. And both teams have tough schedules down the stretch, and they know we have to win. Got to win, pull some upsets. And Washington's going to be coming out. They're going to be more fresh. They're going to be coming out firing. And this game is Pat McAfee's dream, because there's going to be a lot of punting in this game. A lot of defense being played, a lot of punts, and I think the Steelers will still pull it out, but I see something like a 16-13 kind of game.
Listen, you look at when the Steelers played the Dallas Cowboys, in week 7, week 9, whatever it was, and they almost blew that game too against a Dallas team that I think is far worse than this Washington football team.
If you want to compare games against the Dallas Cowboys, I can refer you to Thanksgiving Day, where the Washington football team lost 40 or. Let's wrap the episode up, Nick.
Wait.
What was that?
What?
No.
You don't know how bad I want to push the stop button right now on this recording.
No. What did you say? What happened on Thanksgiving?
We're going to wait till
What happened was the football team beat the living shit out of the Cowboys.
Thank you.
When I picked the Cowboys.
That's why you shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that.
8.5's too many points. Washington's got too much rest. Pittsburgh's got to turn around. I don't care what Mike Tomlin says. It's Washington easy. Let's go.
I do think that the Steelers win the game, but
yeah, sure.
It's worth maybe throwing a leg in a teaser, maybe take them minus 1.5 or something, but 8.5
I would feel more comfortable throwing Washington more points here, but
but if you do what you want to do.
Hey, man. However you play your teasers.
Dallas, Baltimore, money line. What you got on Tuesday night?
Money line. Does Lamar Jackson play?
No.
Dallas.
No Lamar Jackson. Dallas, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I mean Baltimore.
I'll take Baltimore. And that's no Lamar Jackson. And what if you get 6.5? Baltimore minus 6.5. Still no Lamar Jackson. Who are you taking?
Probably Dallas.
Baltimore.
Not touching it.
Dallas. That's
Whatever.
it.
I would take Dallas, but I'm
taking Dallas.
A slight lean, we'll call it.
I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but they'll
lean.
cover for me when I want them to.
Never when I want to, though.
All right. So that just
Take us
about
home,
wraps
Sticky.
up. Huh?
Take us home.
Taking us home.
Wrap it up.
That just about wraps up this episode of the capsON Sports Podcast. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Sam Meehan, Anthony Mano, and Nick Tobias. We'll see you next week.